Julie, this was your fourth speech, How to Say It. And the main goal of this speech is to effectively communicate your message. And I sent an introduction to Greg, but he spiced it up a little more. But to start this, I just wanted to say you truly are a great addition to this group. And I very much enjoyed seeing you progress in this group and just seeing the strides you've taken. So I wanted to start with that. So let's go ahead and get started. The speech was influence, impact, and inspire. And you start with telling us about your family and a number of stories that you said you wanted to share about the experiences you're going to be having in your travels coming up here. And we talked about your sister, your mom, your grandparents, your cousins, great-grandchildren of your grandparents, and Iowa, all kind of in one big chunk there. So we'll talk about that here in a second, of maybe some ideas for improvement around that. Then you got into talking about your core place to land, the consistency and trust of your family, and I thought those were good words to describe family. And then the flighty things that I've done, and I thought those again were kind of good words to draw us into your story of your family. Then we start moving, I think, more into the meat of your speech, the two stories that you had about influencing people, inspiring people, and trying to get those people to make an impact in the world. And you have the Teddy story, and then you have the Tammy story. Both very good stories. Obviously, the Teddy story, I think we can all relate to some type of teacher we've had in our life that really did make an impact to us. And then you have the Tammy story. And as I said, from the perspective of improvement, the two stories were really good. In the very beginning of it, you had quite a bit of material about your family. And so you ran into a time problem here with this speech. And when Laurel was here, he would always say, don't go so wide, but try to go deep into this. So you could possibly focus on just one of these stories and really bring that all together. Because you even alluded to Mark's speech. We had a lot of stories that you were bringing in. And stories are wonderful ways of the listener to be able to relate to your story, but it can get you into time trouble if you try to cover too much. You had great eye contact. You had a little bit of stepping action kind of going on at the beginning, but then you became, I think, more comfortable as you got up here and you were speaking. And then finally, you had asked me to watch for your conclusion, if you had a strong conclusion. I think what got you here again was that you saw the card Mark put up, and you kind of were like, whoop, I'm going to have to get this thing wrapped up here. And you left us with some good call to action. You have the cards, which I think is a great thing for us to go leave the meeting with and think about and ponder and drive action with that. But you ended it with happily rippling, which again I think was good, but us being able to have a little bit more time to develop that conclusion. So I think that if you can work on your time management, you'll be able to get that conclusion even better next time. But overall, as I said, it's been a great experience seeing you grow in the club, and I look forward to more.